Welcome to Avafest 2021. United States Marine Corps and veterans. United States Air Force and veterans.
Up and away.
United States Navy and veterans.
Weigh the anchor now.
United States Army and veterans.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
United States Coast Guard and veterans.
Protecting America.
And last but not least, the family members of all who have served in the military of this great nation and patriots and citizens of America. Join us online for Avafest 2021, October 16th through November 14th. Avafest 2021. Veterans healing veterans. Using the arts and community to heal veterans. It's time to get started.
Hello, my name is Glenn Towery. I'm the founder of Avafest, and I am also the chairman of the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel. I want to welcome you to tonight's opening night presentation for Avafest 2021. We decided that it was time for you to be able to meet some of the people behind the scenes, the directors that actually do the work to put together such a fantastic project as our festival. This year, as you know, our festival is online out of caution because of the COVID pandemic. But nonetheless, these people have worked just as hard to create a festival for you to enjoy. So relax and enjoy and meet the heroes that have put together Avafest 2021.
Absolutely a participant in the Avafest. In fact, this is my second time to participate. The previous time, of course, they were showing actual physical artworks, and I was really blessed and honored to be showing in the state capitol in Austin, in the lower area, and now this time it's going to be online.
Hello, my name is Al Gonzalez. I'm the director of stand-up comedy for Avafest, and it's great to be here in downtown Austin.
My name is Judith Estrada Garcia. I am the art director for Avafest 2021. I curate the arts, I've collected the art, and I help select the art for Avafest 2021.
My name is Dwayne Lusser. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition for Avafest. So I pretty much make sure that we get some of the greatest people in the world that are talented to come on board with Avafest to help us spread the word about art and healing.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Joy. I'm the dance director for Avafest, and I am an Army veteran.
My name is Dr. Elisha Baker Rogers, and I am a retired Navy nurse veteran. I am the director for health and wellness for Avafest 2021.
My name is Casey Alfstad, and I'm the exhibit coordinator for the Carver Museum.
Hello, my name is Roosevelt Weeks, and I'm the director here at the Austin Public Library.
Hello, my name is Pete Salazar, and I'm with the Veterans Commission for the City of Austin, and I'm also co-founder for the United States Disabled Veterans Abroad.
My name is Erlinda Zamora, and I am the Culture and Arts Program Manager for the City of Austin.
My name is Vesepia Robinson, and I am not only a board member of the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, but I am also the artistic director of this year's Avafest Poetry and Spoken Word Showcase, and I like to call it Salute the Mic.
A good 80% of the people that are here are veterans themselves, and so it's amazing. And then the people that have come from all different areas to support this, just so amazing. And then definitely appreciate the support of my family that came. And so we have a lot of family members that are military active duty.
My name is Donald Harrell Sr.,
I am a United States Navy veteran of the Vietnam War. I served aboard the USS Enterprise, CVAN 65. I am the director of theater for Avafest.
This man is wonderful. He's a United States Marine. Big Al Gonzalez.
One more time. Good for Anthony Torino, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Torino. Give it up for everybody else. All right. Thank you so much for coming out. If you came here tonight with a beautiful woman, go ahead and put your hands together for that beautiful woman you came here tonight with. Awesome. If there are women that came with other women, that's cool too. This is 2019. It's totally legal. Get down with yourselves. Matter of fact, if you want to make out, I will not stop you, all right? All right, cool, good. Just want to make sure I had my eyebrows waxed for this. I was going for that mexosexual look. Except for when I did it, I just looked like a fat Count Chocula, so thank you. Appreciate it. You laughed a little too hard there. It's supposed to be funny, but you almost hurt my feelings the way you laughed. It's all fun and games so your mom's walking down the street with a box of cereal. Have you seen my mijo? It tastes great with milk. Thank you. I recently changed my diet. Found out that diabetes runs in my family. Mostly because no one runs in my family. Should have been doing the keto diet. Instead I was doing the taquito diet. Could have been losing fat. Instead I almost lost a foot. Thank you. This side of the room is laughing at it. This side of the room is living that life. Not funny. I love ladies. Ladies are great. Like I started thinking about all the things I love about women. It's hard to narrow it down to one thing, right, my man? Hard to narrow. There's so many things I love. Like, what's your favorite thing about her?
Smile.
It's your aunt. Well, that's a good thing to love about her. That's a good answer right there. If there was something else going on more than just your aunt, that would be weird. All right. Cool. Awesome. That was an uncomfortable, awkward moment there, and I know how to get out of it. I've done this before. It's okay. Well, thank you. Good to see you, Auntie. What's your favorite thing about the lady you came with? Don't tell me she's your aunt, too.
No, she's not. Her tail end.
Her what?
Her behind.
Her butt? Oh, okay. Just say her ass. That's it. That's all you had to say. Very polite gentleman right there. Awesome. Yes, that's a good answer. Good answer, right? You know, my favorite thing is the first time you make love to them. The first time. It's always. I don't. I'm not talking about the act. What I'm talking about is like the little things that the ladies do the first time. Like you remember the first time when you made love to your woman. They always do the same thing, right? They always close their eyes, right? Well, not all of them. There's like a small percentage of freaky women that look you in the eye the first time, right? They just stare you down like, spank me. You're like, no. Seriously, stop it. You're scaring me. Wait a second, why are you behind me now? This is weird. This wasn't on your Craigslist ad, I'm not paying extra. No, seriously, get off right now. Don't get me wrong, folks, I like the kinky stuff, I just don't like the rough stuff. Because the last time a woman asked me to spank her, I did, and then I started crying. Turned out I had daddy issues. I was curled up in the ball, just going, hold me. He's like, it's okay, I give you permission. I was like, yeah, I gotta call my lawyer on this one. You guys are wonderful, thank you. I'm not from this area. I grew up in Northern California, and I was living in San Francisco where I was paying $1,400 a month for a junior one-bedroom apartment. $1,400 a month for a junior one-bedroom apartment, no parking, downtown San Francisco. Then my career started taking off, so I moved to Los Angeles, where $1,400 got me a two-bedroom apartment with parking, 7 minutes walking distance to Sunset Boulevard. And then because my career was a little too hot, I came here to South Texas to cool it off, and $1,400 got me an entire block on the west side, and
Avafest is the Austin Veteran Arts Festival, and they've been doing it for a few years. I was involved in 2019, where I was a participant. I did stand-up comedy for one of the events, and in 2021, now I'm one of the directors. Comedy helps me in that it allows me to express myself in a humorous way that I can't do in everyday life. It allows me to get out some of my ideas, some of my opinions, and some of my observations that I see on day-to-day life. See comedy. How does comedy help veterans? Being a veteran myself and having taught comedy to veterans, what I've noticed comedy does is that veterans have a lot of anxiety from their service, from things they've done in their service, and they don't always know how to release that anxiety. And sometimes being able to humorously talk about things that happened to you in the past allows you to release. There's an old saying, a friend of mine who was a comedian, he used to say, it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now. So sometimes in reflection, we can see the humor in a terrible situation, and we can see it through different eyes. To the new medium of digital performance, well, it's obviously because of COVID, we've changed the way we perform. Whereas performance has always been varied, but with stand-up, it's an in-your-face art form. You're in the stage, you're in front of people. With the new digital platform like Zoom, or one of the ones that I'm working in VR. So what that does is it changes the dynamic. With Zoom, it's a flat screen, it's two-dimensional, and you're talking to people's face. It's a different medium. You have to adapt to it. It's no longer stage performance. You're actually learning how to do TV. So for a performer, like right now, I'm being interviewed in front of a camera, and performing to this camera is so much different than performing to, dozens of people all across, a stage. So it's a different skill set. And with Zoom, it's a little bit different because you need most of them to be quiet in order for you to be heard. And so you don't get the reaction that you normally are used to getting. But anybody who's done TV understands that's normal. So if you want to be famous, if you want to be on television, if you want a career in film, this is totally an excellent way to get used to that. Now on the flip side, I also do VR comedy, and you don't have the outside noise like that's going on right now. That's one thing. It's a more controlled environment in VR. But the great thing about VR, which is virtual reality comedy, you're in a virtual environment that's no different than this, except it's digital, and the people are actually in there. They're there with you in an intimate virtual setting. And so you have instant feedback from real people in a real space, and you hear their laughter, and then you see emojis. So instantaneously you know that something's happening, which is totally different. It's more immersive than, let's say, Zoom. So these are two ways that you can go about it. We're gonna try both of them for Avafest. Do I consider laughter being, there's an old saying, they say, is laughter good medicine? Yes, laughter is medicine. Laughter releases endorphins and healing processes in your body. People don't realize how important a smile is. A smile will change your entire attitude. When you smile, the rest of your body has to catch up to this new thing you just did. And when you smile to people, they get infected by it. And it's no different for anybody. Like if you're in an audience and something makes you laugh, it changes your whole physiology. And when I was at a show last night that catered to veterans, and it's such a big release. And I always hear this from veterans. It's like, man, it's so good to hear from somebody who served, and I relate to you, and it's good to know that somebody also went through what I did. It's a healing process. It's like therapy, only with laughter. Is stand-up comedy a good coping mechanism for veterans with PTSD? I would say it is. I would totally say it is. I grew up with a father who suffered heavily from PTSD from Vietnam. He was a Vietnam veteran, and as many people know, they had it really bad. And the one thing that my father was always angry, walked around with a scowl on his face, and I can tell he was in pain, but I didn't understand that as a child. But the one thing I always remember that was like always delightful was when my father laughed. When I heard my father laugh, I saw him not be in pain. And for that one moment, for my father to laugh was like the greatest thing. So for me, it was important for me to be able to make my father laugh because it helped him cope with his issues, the things that he was dealing with inside, things that he was not ready to share yet. And for a lot of us veterans, there's things we've been through, good and bad, that we don't necessarily want to share with the regular world. And through stand-up, we get to see it through a different way. As a stand-up, I get to look at everything I've done through a new lens, and it gives me the confidence, and it gives me the what's the word I'm looking for? It's like confidence, but it gives me the self-awareness and confidence to be able to express my feelings about the things I've done, the things I wish I've done, and it allows me to release it in a safe way, which is through humor. When you use humor, it's making light of a situation, and whereas with drama, you take the seriousness of it, and sometimes with painting, you take the seriousness. But with comedy, you have no other way. It's all about the laughter, is what I'm trying to say. There is no other option. You have to find the humor in it, and if you can't, then you got to go back and find it. You got to work harder. And I think for veterans getting into comedy, I think it's a great coping mechanism. I think it's a great way of dealing with things that are in your head and in your soul. And at the same time, it's also something that's great to hear as a veteran, because when a veteran connects with another veteran, there's a connection that is not going to be felt by anybody else in the audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give a warm applause to tonight's host for the opening night show for Avafest 2021, Mr. Al Gonzalez.
For me, art is an escape. It's a way for me to mindfully use my time to go into sanctuary space for myself, to remove myself from any type of external influences, experiences, trauma, anything that I might feel that has affected me. I like to paint figures. I like to paint waves on figures. So I use my colors that are very vivid and bright to create waves around the figures that I paint. Mostly women because I am a woman. I understand women more than I understand men in that sense. My name is Judith Estrada Garcia. I am the art director for Avafest 2021. I curate the art, I've collected the art, and I help select the art for Avafest 2021. Art creates this space for me, this beautiful, safe space for me that I can do anything I want. I'm the master of my canvas, I'm the master of my art, and it helps me because it takes me away from things that have actually hurt me in the past. And I always recommend art to people so that they also can heal through art. I think arts for veterans is extremely important because as military members, we are used to accomplishing a mission. We're used to accomplishing the task. And in art, you're accomplishing something. But also while you're doing the art, it's a mindful act. You're taking your mind, you're taking it away from any frustrations, any pain, any traumatic experiences, and putting it on canvas. It helps you escape from whatever happened to you in the past, and it's a great avenue to relax. It's a great avenue to even enjoy and share with other people. So art is a wonderful way to escape into a sanctuary. When you as a veteran begin using art, you have an objective. Your objective is to get your creativity out there for people to see, for people to share, for people to witness. And maybe under all that, you influence other people to use art in the same fashion, to help them escape, to help them find a place of sanctuary, a very positive way to deal with your time. So Avafest 2021 will bring together veterans, current military and their families to experience creative arts in its beautiful format. They're going to experience visual arts, they're going to experience dance, music, theater, the spoken word, and this will actually help them understand that other people, other veterans, other current military Avafest 2021 is a wonderful opportunity for you, veterans, current military, and your families to come. Enjoy the arts, enjoy all forms of creative art. And maybe you might even want to experience some of this art. Share with your members, share with your fellow veterans and fellow military. Share this wonderful experience as an outlet for you, for your family, for all of us.
My name is Dwayne Lusser. I'm the Director of Talent Acquisition for Avafest. So I pretty much make sure that we get some of the greatest people in the world that are talented to come on board with Avafest to help us spread the word about art and healing.
Veteran, and I'm a musician. I did 11 years in the Army, 3 tours to Iraq. After the military, I had some trouble, and music helped me get back on my feet. And I got involved with Soldier Songs in 2013, and been with them and met the good people of the AVA. And this is my second music experience with them. I played at their grand opening last year in November, and they invited me out, and I'm happy to be here. This song is called LRK.
I would say art and performing helps veterans by them going on stage for the first time and getting some crowd reaction to the work that they've been doing in their private time. I would say that also when they're doing the art, when they're working on it, preparing it, that's probably where the best I wouldn't say meditation, but that's where the best clarity is coming and soothing of their minds while they're actually in the creative process.
I hear the choppers coming. They're hovering overhead. They come to get the wounded. They come to get the dead. They come to bring me ammo and bring the bigger guns. We may have won the battle. The war's just begun. And we're singing left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. Left, right, you know I will. Some people go to college. Some are going to dental school. Some are saving forests, some are doing laps in pools. I joined the U.S. Army when I was just a buck. I did a lot of push-ups, got a rifle and a rock. We're singing, hey, hey, and Captain Jack, meet me down by the railroad track. With that whiskey in your hand, you're gonna be a drinking man.
I would say that also when they're doing the art, when they're working on it, preparing it, that's probably where the best, I wouldn't say meditation, but that's where the best clarity is coming and soothing of their minds while they're actually in the creative process.
Healed a torn marching, leaving footprints in the sand, and now I sing about them while I'm rocking in the band. I even saw a camel, he was sitting in the shade. He was watching the parade, getting paid, he got it made. He's singing 1, 2, 3 1/4. Somebody, anybody, give me some water. Falling on your sergeant with your weapon in your hand. Hot and ready, locked and loaded, doing shooting in the sand. Eyes on your target, you're steady taking aim. Fire will confirm the kill, you learn to live with shame. We're singing, hey, hey, Captain Jack, meet me down by the railroad track. With that weapon in your hand, you're gonna be
the different types of artists that I see are singers, actors, actresses, artists, painters, people that do handcrafts, people that it's just such a wide, vast array of talent and art that can be made. So it's, you name it, we get to see it. And it's always new, different types of art that, you know, people hadn't known about yet, or I didn't know about.
Thank you so much.
Thank
man.
you.
That
Thank
was
you.
Great. I love that song.
Thank
How
you.
long ago was it that you wrote that?
That was the first song I wrote after getting involved with Soldier Songs in 2013, 2014. And we did a band version of it. It's on like iTunes, but that was the song. When I wrote that song, that was when I got something. And that song, I would have bad days and I would have things going on, but I had a recording of that song that we did live and it was awesome. And so I relied on that song. When I was tired, I picked up, I'm a God-fearing man and I believe God gave me the gift of music. And he used that instrument to bring me back to life.
Digital graphics that goes into the metaverse, things like that. You know, this is new art to me, and just seeing it, how they're doing this, and it's being where you can spread it worldwide, those things are amazing. But yes, multitude of types of art, so we don't exclude hardly anything when it comes to creative expression.
Ain't that a shame, baby? Tore me up high. I give was nothing but a game to you, baby. Back in my high. Ain't that a shame, baby? Ain't that a shame? I said move on, yeah, you're all wrong. I am not your little fool. Believe me, let it burn into your mind. Yeah, you had no time, making my heart. Ain't that a shame, baby? Tore me up high. I give you nothing but a game to you, baby. Making my heart. Ain't that a shame, baby? Ain't that a shame? So ain't that a shame? I said, ain't that a shame, baby? Woo. Hey. Said, ain't that a shame, baby? Oh. Hey.
Hey y'all. I got two more.
Absolutely, it's a way of therapy by the person actually having that time to themselves, their own minds, and their own creativity, being able to express that either on a canvas or through a microphone. That's that creative flow when that person goes into that space with themselves or with a team, and it all just coming out the way that they is. That whole creative process, I think, is what really soothes the mind. So yes, I am a veteran, and my way of art specifically centered around recognizing the art and the talent in these other veterans and finding ways for them to leverage that for their own personal health and well-being. Once they do that, that makes it where it's automatically going to flow out to the public. And the people that's seeing that, they're seeing, you know, these talents doing their thing, rising above a lot of adversity in their own worlds. And they're seeing how, wow, I could possibly do that too. And get some clarity in my mind and some happiness with what I'm creating that may actually help someone else overcome some anxiety. So I would say that's where my biggest talent is recognizing that and finding ways to proliferate it and get it out to the public for the masses to join. What really goes through my mind is what took them there? How did they get there? Like, you know, these people didn't just wake up and be able to just stand in front of a camera or on a stage with thousands and thousands of people. They had to work. They had to do a lot of things in the background, and not just to get their talent and their skills honed, but they had to do a lot of things financially, It's just so much, school, education. So that's what runs through my mind when I see people doing certain things. I wonder, like, did they start as a 3-year-old doing this, or did they start as a 40-year-old and figure it out and start doing this? And I've seen that. I've seen some of the artists that's on Avafest in their 30s, never performed and sang publicly, and then all of a sudden they got thousands and thousands of people coming to their shows, and they just started singing at age 32. So these things are just amazing to me, and that's what runs through my head when I see any type of talent or artist doing something. I'm wondering, like, how did they get there? Yes, so Avafest, the platform that it provides, it makes it to where we're showing the individuals, the veterans, their family members that they have these talents that we're talking about, yet they've never used them to share publicly for a myriad of reasons, yet we're helping them understand that, hey, what you do can be so helpful to the very next person who's going through the same thing. Some of them are stepping up and saying, yeah, when I do singing, when I do art, when I do this, it helps me feel better. I know that it's helping other people. Those are the things that we see with Avafest as a platform, bringing that to the masses. That's Avafest, and now we see that that's going to be international, worldwide, in the metaverse, people around the world being able to participate. Those things just kind of are the most amazing parts of it, because we're going to be able to not be just like what a regular festival that people know, to just go and see entertainment. This festival is going to be the entertainers creating health and situations for the masses.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Joy. I'm the dance director for Avafest, and I am an Army veteran. Art is important to veterans because this is our opportunity to explore our creativity after being in such an operationally intense environment. Avafest 2021 is going to be able to have a much broader global reach because we are online and on Roku. When we're assessing a performer to participate in Avafest, it's a desire, and we really don't have a limitation. We just want to see them want to be there and be part of the creativity and the community. What goes through my head when I'm performing, a lot of times I'll hit a flow state, and it's a balance between discipline and bliss. It's just in a place of presence and contentment.
At 17, it only took $1 to dream. By 36, it took at least 600 milligrams to silence the screams. You know, the darkness is still having nightmares about me. Without thinking, politely, I invite them in. And I've had a hatred for taking pills ever since they were vitamins, but this physical and emotional pain costs a Paxil and Vicodin just to be all right again. See, I never left the battlefield. I'm just trying to win the fight within. My 6 holes have closed, but what about the 6th soul? I just want to grab a hold and get control. I mean, this is home. This is my fears get exposed when I sit alone and erode. I've corrodes before it explodes, and sometimes I won't answer my phone because the dial tones can remind me of a flat line. The silence can be deafening. See, I've been dealing with my aggression with boxing, but I can only stomach with so much naproxen, choking back on ibuprofen and not focus on the fact that I'm hurting with every jerk in motion. But I'd rather that than these thoughts, because perks don't work on this type of hurt, I swear. I can feel the line in my stomach getting weaker, chasing 30 milligrams of metazapine with another 10 worth of Ambien, trying to catch up to sleep, but it keeps leaving me. I wonder if the doctors are mistreating me. They got me second guessing my reasoning. I don't communicate so easily. I'm not who I used to be, and I'm still trying to get used to me. Now, I tried the trazodone for depression and the tramadol for the pain, though schizophrenia me running my family. I've taken long walks on the edge of insane. This is pain. My first mission was to pick up body bags, so here's to putting life in a perspective, the burning, medically contaminated clothing of our fallen brothers who I left here with that I was supposed to be protecting. This is the hard truth that I'm forced to accept. And at 25, I was running marathons. By 35, I began hyperventilating while laying still. I used to love who I saw in the mirror. Now it's like staring to the eyes of a man I want to kill. This is real. This is pain. This is staring at the walls, waiting for them to move again. This is drinking yourself into a coma, trying to escape the moon again. This is being scared to love your family when you ain't afraid of nothing, but something's got to give. This is searching for God at the bottom of those bottles so you can ask him how you got to live. This is wanting to hug your kids after scaring them half to death. This is dire need of rest, the desire to catch your breath and salvage the you have left. This is feeling overcrowded in the crowd. This is when the silence is too loud of a sound to bear, forgetting how to show you care. This is being so far out there, you may as well still be over there. This is pain. This is too many diagnoses and not enough treatment, so you just keep repeating, I can beat it, I can beat it, I can beat it. Poor appetite, I'm not eating, I'm searching for life's meaning, but I lost my way. I'm lost, and this hurts. This is pain.
My name is Dr. Elisha Baker Rogers, and I am a retired Navy nurse veteran. I am the director for health and wellness for Avafest 2021. Okay, when you think about health and wellness, health is like the biopsychosocial of your being. It's a little bit more than just the absence of disease. And wellness are those factors that help to augment, help you to have your very best self, engaging in everything, your community, your lifestyle, what you eat, your nutrition. Well, mentally, you can meditate every day. It's about breathing, taking time to focus on the positive things in your life, nutritionally, making sure you have a balanced diet. Everything is about balance, your fruits, your vegetables, and exercise, outdoors or indoors. The whole being of, so you can be your best self in the well-being. Right, because your mind, body, and your spirit, they're all interconnected. You might be able to think of something and it might make you a little nervous, and just thinking about it, the next thing you know, what happens? You start to sweat, your stomach starts to churn. So it's that interconnection because of all of your hormones and different transmitters that are neurotransmitters that are going through your body. If you engage in health and wellness activities, yes, you tend to live a more positive lifestyle. Health and wellness is essential for veterans. So when I was asked to be like the director for health and wellness, and also a member of the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel. When I learned that more than 22 veterans were taking their lives every day, when you think of how we serve our country, whether we spend 3 years or 30 years serving, and all of the time, the devotion, the commitment, and for a veteran to want to take their life, okay, that means that that veteran is in a very dark place, to feel like they're all alone, that they have no help or support. So there's a lot of different reasons why veterans may want to commit suicide. You know, in addition to the PTSD combat related, there are non-combat issues, you know, military sexual trauma. There's discrimination, race-based, you know, gender-based, and just sometimes the chronic pain that veterans have as a result of an injury. And so you tend to hold on to that negative energy because your thoughts, the trauma, that's negative energy. So health and wellness is a way to use different modalities to insert positive energy, you know, holding that positive space for veterans so they can focus off the negative and begin to realize that there are several reasons why they need to continue living. I think sometimes veterans that want to commit suicide, they tend to isolate themselves, and you know, they disconnect from the community and people. So we need to promulgate and let them know that there are resources available. And the good thing about this virtual conference is the veteran can help and use these modalities in the privacy of their home. Maybe they don't feel like being around anyone else at that time, but they can still engage in the activities that we have for them in the privacy of their room. You have to remember, some veterans, even their spouse or family members, don't even know about some of their experiences because they don't talk about it. So this is a way of having that veteran even engage in home. And you know, with our beautiful technology, the internet, we can help to get the word out and let them know that yes, there are a lot of people that care about them, other veterans especially, because we know we've been through a lot of what they're experiencing. So one of the beauties of the different modalities that we have set up for the health and wellness program is that the veteran can engage in a variety and they can set their own goals. You know, it has to be intrinsic. You know, post-military, no one's telling you really what to do. You have to, it has to come from within. You have to make the decision that you want the best life, that you want to live your best life. What's happened in the past, although you know, we can't control it, we can control the present and the future. So it's getting that veteran engaged in, oh, I can get up in the morning and meditate. I can go for a walk on a labyrinth circle. I can learn about CBD for my PTSD. Well, all of our, whether, you know, it's dance or painting or some of the modalities, what it helps to do, it helps to like evoke that relaxation response, okay? Because stress and depression, that, you know, we're built to like fight or flight, okay? But the relaxation response, that has to be purposeful. We have to actively engage, it's not automatic. So those different modalities of the art will help the veteran to focus, relax, and calm their mind, body, and spirit, help to calm their mind, body, and spirit. It's automatic. That's the way we, fight or flight, that's automatic. We're designed. It's like back when the caveman and the lion, you know, you either fight or you run to fight another day. So that's automatic with our hormones and from our inner brain, it starts to stimulate things, so our adrenaline, so we can run or fight, you know, that superhuman strength. That is automatic. But the relaxation response, as I mentioned, you know, before, you have to voluntarily engage in that. It's not involuntary like fight or flight. The use of all of the arts, the programs that we have lined up for the Avafest 2021 will help the veteran engage in that relaxation response so they can decompress and begin to heal on whatever level is bothering them, you know, because it's a multitude. We can't say here, you know, every veteran is different. Their experiences are different. But what's unique is that we can all begin to relax and focus, set goals for the future, and know that people, fellow veterans, family members, that they do care about other veterans.
Prescribed him little pills, we prescribed him bigger pills, got him higher than any rocket ever flew, got him lost between the moon and Mars, ain't no one there but movie stars, bootstraps back on Earth, I can't get to. What in the world are you supposed to do? When he walked on the moon. Thank you for your service, man, but your daddy built this castle out of moon sand. His war was the only right one to fight. So we'll go to the mall and disappear. We'll land on Mars in 100 years. We'll forget you, make everything just right. What in the world are you supposed to do when your daddy walked on the moon? What in the world are you supposed to do when your daddy walked?
Hello, my name is Roosevelt Weeks, and I'm the director here at the Austin Public Library. Libraries support everybody in the community, and this is just one part of a group of people that we love to support because our veterans have done so much for us, and we want to give back to the veterans of this community. Avafest is huge for us in supporting in the efforts that they're doing because it's surrounding art, it's around literacy. Those are the things that we do well, and those are the groups that we want to support and for the community to support. Arts is so important because it lets veterans tell their story when they can't verbalize it. And it's so important that, you know, they've gone through a lot. Many of them come back with some challenges that they have to deal with in everyday life, and it's hard to deal with those things when you come back stateside. And so we believe that art is a way of them telling us without even having to say it. And so art and literacy is one of the things that's important to them, and to give them the opportunity to express themselves. Avafest is the perfect platform for this. You know, veterans have a lot to say. We see a lot of veterans in our spaces. We know that they're veterans because they wear it, they show it, and oftentimes when they wear their hats that say that they are a member of this, they're a member of the Vietnam, whether it's we have some World War II veterans, even though we have few of those that's coming through now, but many of them show up in our buildings and our spaces just for an outlet. And so we're so glad that we're supporting them, not only from a library perspective, but from this program of Avafest. Yeah, our Central Library was designed for the library of the future. And it was designed to encompass every aspect of life, or people that want to get something out of the library. That's lifelong learning. And on the second floor, we have an art gallery, mainly for the art. All parts of our building, you'll see art on the wall, because we want to showcase the work of the local community as well as some national artists, but mainly our local artists, so that they can show their work and hopefully benefit from the sales of some of their works out of our building. So yeah, this whole building is a work of art. As you may know or may not know, in 2018, this building was rated by Time Magazine as one of the best places to visit, 100 best places to visit in the world, not just in the country, but in the world. And so we're very proud of the work that the citizen put in making this come to fruition. And I'm just so proud that I'm just happen to be here to play a small part in that. Avafest is breaking barriers because they're reaching more people by doing virtual. There are a lot of people that's not only here in Austin, but across this country and across the world for that matter. It's an opportunity, it's a new platform that we're finding out that's giving us a bigger audience. And so Avafest being virtual and some pieces that's in-house, I think it's wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I'm just so happy to work with Avafest on this because I see the work that they're doing, the people that they're trying to support, and just my little tiny part in that. I want to do everything that I possibly can to do that and make it successful. Thank you.
Hey, hello, I'm Peter Biwat. Hello from Austin. I have served 28 years in the U.S. Army, so I'm a combat veteran, been to Iraq a couple different times. I'm also a sculptor and an artist. I've been painting and drawing and sculpting since the age of 5. And most recently, for the past 5 years, I'm now a nationally certified, board-certified art therapist, working with active duty military. I'm absolutely a participant in the Avafest. In fact, this is my second time to participate. The previous time, of course, they were showing actual physical artworks, and I was really blessed and honored to be showing in the state capitol in Austin, in the lower area. And now this time it's going to be online, and I've contributed artworks for this show as well, this year's show in 2021. So as a qualified art therapist and a practicing professional artist as well, I can absolutely verify and validate that art can be therapy for individuals and groups. And depending on the right prompt and given the materials and a little of experience and inspiration, one can really process a lot of things that one never realized. You know, whether it's fear or anxiety or combat nightmares, or maybe suicidal notions of suicide and in suicidal intention, emotions. There's all kinds of things that appear in artwork and that can make artwork very therapeutic. So typically when I'm creating art, in fact, even as recent as last night, I'm really looking for a quiet space, a safe place, maybe put on some instrumental music, really something non-intrusive, probably some classical guitar or marimba music. And then I just start, move my wrists a little bit, loosen them up, and then usually I have something that I'm already working on, so I already have an entry point, and I can continue. Now, if it's a new starting point, I will just sit there, and I've got plenty of visions, a backlog of visions, if you will, that I can just pull from and start kind of messing around with it. And usually it starts with a drawing. What type of materials? Just a pencil or a wax crayon or something like that, and just start scribbling, coming up with a sketch, and then things can arrive. So here's what's interesting. In the case of Avafest, it's a 2-track because you've got people who have served, so former service members, veterans. Oh, and they're also creative, exploring their music, their art, their poetry, and things like that. So there's actually a double link among this community, which is really powerful and interesting as well. It's interesting because, as an art therapist, sometimes I've done some sessions online on a computer, and it's a little different. It's less tactile. You're not as present with the person, sharing the same space. So it is interesting to actually put artwork in the Avafest online and not having it physically present. Now, the advantage is I just brought in one piece, right? And I think you filmed some clips of this large canvas that I brought in, 6 by 9 feet. So there's really something to be said about, submitting an image and actually being present with the artwork. So it's kind of interesting that way. But as far as community, what's interesting is even if you don't meet the person or see the artwork in person, it covers that tyranny of distance. If someone's in California and they have submitted their artwork, I can see it on my computer in Texas. And so that's really amazing. It really cuts the distance as far as being online. So that's an advantage to some degree. That's right. So it's a nationwide call for the artwork, which is wonderful and powerful. I've been able to actually forward a lot of the calls for art, regardless of whether it's visual or dance or music or something like that, to a number of veterans groups and a number of fellow veterans who I served with, and actually a number of service members who I did art therapy with and who have completed services with me and who have also left the service and they're still pursuing their art. So I've absolutely blasted out the Avafest publicity and information and the call for art nationwide as well. And what's great is that there was an extension for 1 month until 1 September. So, for anybody who missed the deadline, they were able to come back and actually have a second chance to submit. Yeah, so that's the wider extended, community. I mean, behind every hero, behind every veteran is a real unspoken hero, and that's the spouse, right? And the children, because they have all seen that mother or father go through service and might not fully know what it is, but they too are part of that environment and community. Like I say, I live on an active duty base, and so I know for a fact, and on a rare occasion, a service member will bring in a child or some children or a spouse unannounced, So already, you know, that service member is giving a quiet invite to really participate and be creative and make some artwork, in fact, together. And whether it's in an art therapy session with me or at home, they can start to really explore things collectively. A simple thing would be like, create your favorite pizza slice. You know, so every family member is creating really an abstract art, their pizza slice, and then putting it all together in a circle. And that speaks to the smallest community that we have possible, which is the family.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Zach
My name's Erlinda Zamora, and I am the Culture and Arts Program Manager for the City of Austin. I am the Culture and Arts Program Manager at the Old Bakery and Emporium, where I manage all the programs, the cultural arts programs, and I also am the manager of the museums for the City of Austin. Avafest is important to the City of Austin because it brings another perspective to the programs that we provide. It also includes a number of ways to bring communities together, and it also provides a way for communities to bring families together and honor those who have provided the services to this country. Part of the reason that we have participated with Avafest is because we really feel that art is a way for veterans to heal, because we find that a lot of veterans use art to heal after everything that they've been through in the different wars that they've been in. And so we feel that the arts is a way for them to find a resource to heal and to express themselves. And so it's a really great way for them to come and find a resource in the different areas of museums and cultural centers to expose themselves in terms of showing their work and expressing their voices and letting people know that may not know that they are artists, and showing all their different skills, whether it's poetry, whether it's music, whether it's visual arts, whether it's even performance arts, that they do have something that they need to get out after everything that they've been through. And so we are places of healing. Yes, and what's wonderful about the City of Austin is that it has a lot of different cultural centers. We have the African American Cultural Center, we have the Asian Resource Center, we also have the Mexican American Cultural Center. So we have different centers where veterans have places that they can feel welcomed. And so that's the uniqueness of the city, where we have different places that they are welcomed, and different places like theaters where they can perform. We have galleries where they can perform or display their artwork, and we have different ways where they can feel very welcomed, and that's one of the things that we feel very honored to have for them, and that's why when Avafest came to us to ask if we would be willing to participate, we felt like very comfortable opening up our arms to the veterans, because we had these resources for them, and it just felt like a perfect piece to offer for them. And so it worked out from the very first time that we did it, and now I think it's grown. Even though the pandemic happened, we still have a virtual way to support this, and even though some of these programs are virtual, they're still very important, and they're still happening. And some of the cultural centers will also be providing in-person programming. We will, at the Old Bakery and Emporium, will be providing an outdoor program, and some of the other locations will be providing in-person programming. So there's something for everybody, and that's the wonderful thing about the Avafest for the cultural programs that we will provide in this year. So we won't give up on this, and we'll be working with Avafest for the future. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of technology, that's just something that we can definitely expand on. There's no reason not to expand in terms of technology. Even just performances themselves, there's a lot of technology that veterans obviously know a lot of, and that's why we're trying to open up those doors for veterans to to bring them, because it's not, you know, when we think of veterans, sometimes we think that a lot of them have passed away, but there's living veterans right now that we need to help and support them, because there is a lot of suicide also. And we need to give them that support that they need to, you know, find those resources and find that those techniques that they need, those technical skills that they need to make them feel alive and to make them feel supportive, because that's what this is all about, you know, is that we need to create this unity for veterans to feel that, you know, they are being supported. I think there has been that misconception of veterans, that they only served in Vietnam or, you know, all the different past wars. But now when we look at TV and what's going on in Afghanistan, it's real. And just there's some young people that have passed away, and now they're veterans. So I think that our locations, the Daugherty Art Center, and some of our other locations are putting on programs for young veterans that are serving now as well, to come and be part of this festival. So that's why we're trying to get all these different areas of what we think of as veterans to be part of this festival, so that we not think of this misconception of veterans. That's what this whole program's about. And so that's why, you know, all the different centers are doing something totally different for each of their areas. So that's why we invite everybody to listen in from October till the end of November for 2 months and hear about all the different wonderful things that veterans are doing and want to express to the world. And we invite everybody during those 2 months. There's a lot going on, and we, the city, and all the cultural centers and museums are very proud to be part of and participating with Avafest.
Everybody out at the bar, we finna do something up in here. We got MOE, that stands for Music Over Everything. Her actual stage name, Moanatella. Y'all heard of the Disney young lady? Yeah. So she's in a race to get more higher than that Disney young lady on Google search. So that's where we're at right now with her. Yeah. So I'm very, very, very proud to introduce this young lady. Her work ethic has just been very, very phenomenal this past year. And I'm just very excited about her single that's out there, Coffee. Each one of y'all go check that out when you get a chance. And with no further ado, I'm gonna introduce to you MOE, Music Over Everything, Moanatella!
I love you guys. That was very nice, loud. Woo! You can start. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. When I walk through the door, you see I'm the M to the O. Don't forget that E. Been on the ground too long. Hell is what I defeat. Demons try to steal my life. Generators I keep. I would never sleep on the message I received from the angels above. I pray to on my knees, and what they try to preach is still inside of me. And now it's up to me to send a message on repeat. I would never sleep on the message I received from the angels above. Who I pray to on my knees, and what they try to preach is still inside of me. And now it's up to me to send a message on repeat. Talk about the hurt, talk about the pain, talk about the struggle, talk about the gain. And if you're only worried about fame, don't hold water to your name. And I'll just bring it back to the game. Don't come on my neck, it's the truth. Struggle to understand life, I put it all in the booth. Spit it back to you so you're not at the loop. So all eyes on me when I walk through the door, you see I'm the M to the O, don't forget that E. Been on the ground too long, hell is what I defeat. Demons try to steal my life, generators I keep. Generators I keep.
Hello, my name is Pete Salazar, and I'm with the Veterans Commission for the City of Austin, and I'm also co-founder for the United States Disabled Veterans Abroad. Originally, when Avafest was being thought about, Glenn came to the Veterans Commission with this idea of having an art festival to help veterans, process through things like PTSD and other hardships that they're dealing with. So the Veterans Commission for the City of Austin 2 years ago tagged me to be the representative on their behalf to make sure that this would become a reality. So at that time, me and Glenn worked together closely to make this a reality. I think art in every capacity helps people process their emotions. This is specifically amplified when you have veterans and other people that dealt with, traumatic issues and issues that are outside of the norm of the human condition. And whether it's painting, whether it's photography, whether it's singing, it gives people avenues to process their emotions and find some kind of tranquility at the end of that journey. Well, any festival, and especially with Avafest, you cry for a human condition, a human connection. And I think Avafest, especially during the times of COVID, are reestablishing those human connections, not only for Austinites and the people of Austin, but for veterans and people around the world. I think virtual reality gives us an avenue and the concepts that we didn't think before. I mean, specifically, we're working with some veterans from Costa Rica that are living abroad. And last year they couldn't participate to the full, or 2 years ago they couldn't participate to the full capacity they wanted. Now with virtual reality and being able to stream all that information on the web, you're allowing greater participation for veterans around the world, and I think that's extremely important. I would say to come and see what we're doing. To the veterans that are wondering about us, first I want to let them know they're not alone in whatever they're dealing with. We're here to help them. And it's not just a festival to display your art. It's a festival to encourage healing and to help with healing. And that's what we're first and foremost here to do. And come join us.
What's up, y'all? My name is Tamisha Jones. I'm a poet. I'm also known as Genuine T. I write poetry. I wanted to share one of my poems with you guys, very deep for me. I actually was incarcerated when I wrote it. I've been going through a lot in the past couple years, and I just want to share with you guys. Hopefully you feel what it was intended to feel when I wrote it, what I actually felt when writing it, and just share your opinion with me in the comments and what it did for you. And thank you for listening. The title of the poem is called Trauma. My mind is tangled up in my heartstrings. The more I try to untangle it, I end up stumbling. So many questions, not enough answers. I'm restrained. Too much trauma, I could never be the same. Anxiety, depression, PTSD. Feeling like I'm in this fight alone. I've become my own worst enemy. Nowhere to turn, no signs of support. These walls are closing in, I'm reaching, but the rope is too short. Mind aching, heart racing, I believe it's too late. What did I do to deserve such fate? The weight of my burden's too heavy, I done lost my faith. Desperately trying to see that following God is the way. But my judgment is clouded, vision is blurry, I done lost too much, nothing left but fury. This room is spinning, I'm trying to stand up. I'm still in this fight, I will not give up. But I'm shackled. Handcuffed with guilt, ankles tied in pain, mouth gagged with regret, head crowned with thorns of sin. But I know this is a battle I cannot let the devil win. And that's that piece. Thank you.
So my name is Vesepia Robinson, and I am not only a board member of the Veteran Suicide Prevention Channel, but I am also the artistic director of this year's Avafest Poetry and Spoken Word Showcase, and I like to call it Salute the Mic. So to give you a little bit of my personal history and my service to this country, I went into the Air Force around 1998. And so, yes, I am a proud veteran of the Air Force, 8 years. And I did most of my tour in Europe, Holland and Germany. I played basketball, I did softball, I was a cheerleader, I played volleyball. So as you can see, very sports integrated. But then I also love the arts. I did a lot of drama. I did a lot of plays, actually on the base that we were at. So enjoyed that time. I'm proud to be a veteran of the Gulf War. So I was able to spend some time in Iraq. And then also during some travels after I got out of active duty service, I did reserve service and was able to go over to Australia and go over to the Philippines. So I really enjoyed my time that I was in the service, and I try to stay connected to the service by doing local things. I'm actually in California, in the Bay Area of Northern California, so I stay connected here in the local area of Hayward. I actually do a lot of the saluting events and a lot of the veteran affairs events here locally. And then I'm also part of what they call the Mission Continues. And that's a group of people who just really have a love and passion to continue their service duties. And so we do things like help with Habitat for Humanities, build homes, give away clothes, give away, help build shelters. So a lot of different things to really help us be able to give back. So a couple of years back, probably about 20 years ago, it's hard to believe it's been that long, I had the wonderful opportunity to be selected to go on a reality show, one of the most popular reality shows out there called Survivor. And not only was I on it, but I won $1 million on there. I am the first and the only African-American female to win Survivor. And I was the first African-American, regardless, to win any reality show. So it's an honor that I am so proud of. And I even have my torch. It sits right over there. But it's been a pleasure to be able to have that honor that I can live with forever. You know, the beautiful thing about the arts is that when you immerse yourself into them, you can find yourself. You can find your true self. And it's like that commercial, Calgon, Take Me Away. The arts can take you to a place that you never really knew that you could go. It can take you to your highest highs, and it can also take you to your lowest lows. So my hope is that as Avafest heals veterans through the arts, that they find that really positive healing place for them, because it really does bring you to a place of joy. It brings you to a place of humility, happiness, refreshment. And I know it's done that for me in many occasions. And so when we look at veterans that are dealing with things like post-traumatic stress disorder, it's tough to get through. And sometimes they feel like they're all alone. And the arts can connect you to those places that you realize you're not alone. You're not in this by yourself. And you will find that there are others that are also going through the same thing that you are. And that connection through the arts is liberating. And it's just an honor and a pleasure. And so I truly hope that as people come and visit the Avafest Festival and visit the different areas that are being showcased, whether it's comedy, whether it's poetry and spoken word, or whether it's a sculpture, that they find that inner peace and they find that thing that really takes them to a much more beautiful place than where they could have been.
Now's the time.
Yes, so I would like to say a special thank you to all of our veterans for, number one, your service. We could not have done the things that we have done without you. And me as a veteran also, I think back on the times when I was out there, whether it was fighting in Iraq or just going to a house to help a family fight crime in their area, because when I was in the Air Force, I was a crime prevention officer. I always felt that there was a calling bigger than myself. And so I want to thank you that there was a call bigger than yourself out there. And I salute you and I bow down to you and I just thank you. Continue to fight the fight, because it's not over. In fact, it's just begun. Continue on. Thank you.
What really matters now? I am confused by the day and all it holds. So many pressing obligations, And the question remains, what really matters now? The outside world is pressing in upon my inner sanctuary, grinding away the sense of protection, chipping away at the barrier I so carefully constructed. So what really matters now? Is it important to hold fast or just let the deluge in, allow it to wash over me and remove all the oxygen? What really matters now? I feel the closeness of impending doom, waiting just outside, thumping to get in. There's a crack in my defenses. Fight or flight takes over, my brain no longer in charge. What really matters now? I brace for the attack, my back against the wall, trembling with fear and dread. I can't think from this maddening place. I am frozen. The barrier fails. There's nothing to protect, all I hold dear. What really matters now? I hold my breath. It is an unconscious spasm. I close my eyes as tight as possible to shut out the harm, but nothing happens when that barrier fails. No charging army, no dangerous horde, just a simple breeze across my face. What really matters now? I've discovered I've been hiding from nothing. First thoughts of the day. How do I know what great obstacles this day will hold? Will I be able to conquer this challenge with silver or gold? Being unsure, I hesitate, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I question for a moment, what is this all about? In a fraction of a second before the answer is clear, I jump with both feet in, no matter my fear. For what the day may bring, I really have no clue. I may struggle, but somehow I will make it through the traps and snaps and all the pitfalls, past the snide quips and life's indignant calls. I am unbreakable and my spirit is strong. My courage is as big as the day is long. My armor was tested in battles of the past. Today isn't the first, and I know it's not the last. I'm all in this moment with both feet, and what comes my way, I am ready to meet. Thank you.
As a veteran, I wanted to be a part of Avafest because their work is very important and it reaches out to veterans who may be depressed or have reason to think they no longer want to be here on this earth. It also brings a number of veterans together to showcase their talents, their experiences, and overall to help other vets. Well, as an actor, I have performed in many plays. One was The Face of Emmett Till, which got sold out performances in each and every case. My most recent one was The Prodigal. That was done up in Killeen by KZ Moore. We hope to have that some of her work on display. I have done, besides that, I've done film and commercials. Participation in Avafest is very important because we want to get the exposure out there. We want to have veterans realize that there are others out here able to help them and ask them to reach out to us with any of their problems. I just want everyone to know that the work that I'm doing now, I'm very much involved in. I want everyone to know that as a veteran, one of our mottos is to leave no man behind.
August the 6th, 1970, Thursday morning, 6:30. My dear darling one, Mom is wondering how you are and what you're doing. I guess stand down is still on. Oh, I'll be so proud when you write me you are officially out of the field. I'll probably be getting another medal soon, but I thought being so close to you being in, you probably just bring it instead of just mailing it. I presume you'll get another for the Cambodian campaign. I know you earned it. Dad and I got up a little early this morning. We're having our coffee here in the den. I thought I'd try to finish my letter before the noise started. I love this time of the day. It's cool and everything's freshened up during the night. And one is filled with anticipation for no reason at all. Maybe you realize the beauty of the big old oak trees. Moist, cool sandbirds floating around and watching the colors deepen in the east as the sun begins its climb. I'm sitting here by the dining room window and I'm thinking, all the time my little boy's coming home. They all tell me, Mama, he's not a little boy anymore, he's a man. Well, I know that too. But I know also that inside that little man is my little boy, who with a big collie roamed the woods on Papa's branch and would come walking in at supper time. Soon my baby will come walking into our arms again, oh Mikey. I can hardly wait. Days are dragging. Well, I hope I get another letter this morning. Mom can hardly wait for mail time. 9:10 every morning. We've all been so anxious to know when to expect you, and now I guess we know. We all hope for withdrawal all year, and I'm still disappointed about the Germany tour, but as everything else, we have to accept it. But it won't be like Vietnam and not as long, and we will make it. I'm just so happy and thankful for God, for His protection, and that it's August, and soon it will be September. Well, sweet thing, I'm gonna mail this and let Dad carry it to the box. All is okay here. Maybe I'll get another letter today. I love you. Take care, and you just hold on. We will see you soon, baby. From one who loves you better than life. Mom.
We're not born killers. We all of us are born with a sense of duty. Duty to family, a duty to others that we love, a duty to self. But to be asked to kill and injure a person is an unnatural thing. And you know, you have to try. Once it's done, you have this sense of duty and you do what you're trained to do, but then there's always that remembrance of what was done. There's always that lingering thought of who was that person? Who were these people? And even though it was a duty that I was performing, that I was serving for my country, whom I love, my humanity, the person that I am, is shaken by the fact that I've had to commit such an act. And so those thoughts, that humanness that can't be trained out of a person, I don't care how much boot camp you've gone through, that very essence of humanness and humaneness in a person, it still lingers, it's still there, and it's like a voice. And that voice, after a while, becomes louder and louder. And in many cases, it begins to point fingers, and it begins to create doubt, and it begins to create hurt, and it's like a cancer that wells up inside of veterans or any person. And there's a war going on inside. You're telling yourself, yes, but this was my duty. You know, I swore to do this. But then there's another voice. It's like the angel over here and the angel or the devil over here. And the devil is saying, but that was your duty. You had to do this. And the angel is going, yeah, but that was terrible what I did. So the way that art helps veterans, especially those who have been in combat, is that it allows veterans to address their problems without meeting them head on. It's a form of meditation, because when I paint something, for instance, it may not even be anything related to the war, but in my mind I may be thinking about subconsciously a lot of the things that happened to me. I can sometimes look at the canvas and I can see through the colors, through the movement, through the actual thing that I've drawn, that something has come out of me onto that canvas. Now, that's something that came out of me. I didn't have to talk about it. I didn't have to say, this is bothering me, I remember this when it happened. But there it is, it came out in a way that was positive. So it came out in a way, and when I say positive, it's out of me, but it's out of me in a way that is not detrimental. So when art is a very, very powerful tool in the sense that it opens up for us to be able to release without the negative impulses and feelings that usually occur with PTSD. It allows us to do this in a way to where we don't even realize on a conscious level what we are doing. But when you get through with a piece of art, when you get through singing, acting, dancing, I do all of those things, painting, somehow you feel better.